We continue to follow the breaking news that President Joe Biden is no longer running for re-election.
Leaders of his own party had been pressuring him to drop out, though this still came as a surprise to his staffers, some of whom said they did not know until 1 minute before the announcement. In a letter to the American people, President Biden didn't say what prompted his decision, but wrote, "I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." Biden's statement also endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris to replace him on the top of the ticket.
The Harris campaign sent out its first email overnight touting a list of immediate backers in Washington, and small donors have shown up. They've already raised over $46 million for her campaign. And a Zoom call comprised of black women voters for Harris was so large that Zoom had to increase capacity to meet that demand.
In response to the shakeup, former president and Republican nominee Donald Trump said, "Whoever the left puts up now will just be more of the same." We have team coverage of this seismic shift in the race. Action News reporter Catherine Scott is standing by with talk of Harris's possible running mates.
But we're going to start with Action News reporter Corey Davis. And Corey, the Harris campaign is off and running, but people need to understand there's a process. It's not a shoo-in, and you have more on what the Democratic National Committee will do next.
Tam and Matt, good morning. So major focus will be on those delegates who already supported President Joe Biden when he became the Democratic nominee. So now Vice President Kamala Harris will need 1,986 of those delegates to support her to gain the nomination moving forward.
It's going to be the convention that decides, the delegates that are there. So what she will need, of course, is to build strength within the delegate pool. This will be done through direct outreach. Of course, the president's endorsement of her will carry weight. These are delegates that are pledged to President Biden.
And Vice President Kamala Harris has been doing just that. An insider familiar with what's going on behind the scenes says Harris spent much of Sunday surrounded by family and staff, making more than 100 calls to Democratic officials to line up their support for her candidacy. Prominent Democratic elected officials, party leaders, and political organizations announced support for Harris in the hours after President Joe Biden announced he was dropping his re-election efforts. Biden's campaign formally changed its name to Harris for President, reflecting that she is inheriting his political operation of more than 1,000 staffers and the money that has been raised, nearly $96 million raised at the end of June. Harris expressed gratitude for Biden endorsing her, but insisted that she was looking to earn the nomination. She is looking to earn the nomination in her own right. So whether she remains the only candidate before the Democratic National Convention, scheduled August 19th through the 22nd, that still remains to be seen.
It's been suggested that maybe there ought to be some sort of series of something like debates among contenders for the nomination between now and the convention in order to give Americans and Democrats especially an opportunity to see them in action and make a choice for themselves.
So we know West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, who left the party earlier this year to become an independent, is considering re-registering as a Democrat to possibly be a contender for the nomination against Harris. And author Marianne Williamson also says she is still running for president. We also know the Democratic National Committee was originally planning to hold a virtual roll call to basically select the nominee before the convention. Those plans are still being worked out after the Biden shakeup. Reporting live here along the Parkway, Corey Davis, Channel 6 Action News.
All right, Corey, thanks.